Well, hello again. The other day we were talking about Jesus feeding the 5,000. We talked about Jesus, we talked a little about Philip and a little bit about Thomas and the fact that Jesus knows everything and he knew what he was going to do even before he asked them to help him. Today I want to talk about another aspect of that event. I think an important one for you and for me, ones that will help us in this process. I want to talk about that little kid. That little kid that came out there with those few loaves and those few fish. I can just see him. Jesus has come to the shore. Jesus goes up on the hill. Everybody begins to follow. The kid looks. He sees it. He wants to do it. He starts to go. His mom yells at him and says, "No, wait a minute. I want to give you a lunch." She throws these fish and this bread into the bag, maybe even a couple extras for his friends, and then off he goes, running up to see what's going on. Because where Jesus was always where the action was. And so he was heading that way to see what was going to go on. And then Thomas finds him and looks in his bag, and the little boy stands there. That's all he's got to eat today. And the little boy is there, and Thomas says, "Well, let me give this to the master." And the little boy doesn't quite understand what's going to happen. And then he sees Jesus lift up that bag and bless it. And then out of these baskets that the bag is dumped into comes enough food to feed 5,000 people. I mean, that is amazing. Can you imagine what through that little boy's heart? It's kind of the same thing as when you just say, "Lord, I don't know how this is going to work out," and then it works out. When you say, "Oh, this is the biggest problem I've ever had," and then the problem is behind you. Did you know that you have everything that you ever need to do what Jesus wants to do with you? That little boy had a lunch. That's all he needed. And Jesus took that lunch and blessed a whole crowd of people. You already are equipped to bless people, to be used by God. Maybe even during this crisis time is the time that God would want to use you most to encourage and pray with people and bless them. You have what you need. You'll read about it in John chapter 6. You're just like that little kid. I am too. And I'm so glad that God has equipped me for such a time as this. I pray for you, and I pray that God would use you in a powerful way during these days. Have a great day today, just being used of God.